Okay, welcome, guys. Now, previously we discussed what guys need to know about ladies. That's what from the ladies' perspective. Now, today we're looking at what ladies need to know from the guys' perspective, and so it's an all-guys panel. And so we want to hear because there's often this we hear ladies all the time. After all I did, and it broke my heart. It did this to me, and it can't, I cannot believe he didn't love me, and I gave him up. Right? You understand? Now, what do ladies need to know about guys and what we need, and how, especially in relationships or marriages and LTRs. What I mean by LTRs, I mean long-term relationship, right? So what do you think ladies need to know? I gave it my all. I was cooking every day. I was cleaning, all these different things. But we find that, I gave him everything. I was like a wife. I love this family and all this, and it still did not work. Is this what guys want? Someone who would cook and clean?
Well, I think I am qualified to talk about this because I'm a guy.
I think we're all qualified. There's a reason why I called the setting of us. There's a reason why.
My brother understands what I mean.
That's why I picked us to have this material.
Yes.
We're all qualified.
So, no, as a matter of fact, I have been in relationships.
Yeah.
So I have made my comparative analysis, and I can say for sure that what men need is actually not a relationship where they will be investigated all the time. I must tell you, this is a thing that causes problems between African relationships, in Caucasian or Igbo relationships. Men don't want to be policed, all right? And the typical woman will want to know everything the man is doing at any point in time. It's a natural characteristic of women, okay? Now, women are extra careful. Women need so much details. They are framed in that way. But men, we do not care for details. We just want the spark. Once we see the spark, we're okay with it. That is why anthropologically, from the human beginnings, men were hunters and women were homekeepers.
Yeah, Ike, we just talked about this, about society evolving, and our brains haven't evolved with society.
Absolutely. So women couldn't be hunters because of their extra detail. I mean, take for instance, when the first man or the first woman appeared in the forest and began to hunt, and the woman will see maybe a flicker of leaf moving, but she would wait to see details instead of calculating the distance and aiming at the point. But because she is wired for details, she would wait there until the antelope, races.
Escape.
Yes, escape. But when a man sees that, I notice a movement, he calculates the direction that that animal may take and begin to shoot at that direction. Now,
so what do women need to know that we want from them? We don't, like you said, we're not really concerned about details, like you're saying. We're not. So what exactly do men really look for?
Well, every man, I think, looks for peace. We don't want to be bothered. We don't want to be policed. Let me tell you, when a man loves a woman, he goes an extra mile.
Yeah.
You don't need, women think most times that those things they do you cannot change a man. You cannot change a man. You can only try to let the man be, and through your own adjustments, you try to make the man to leave some certain things that he's doing that maybe you don't like, and to conform with whatever ambitions you have.
I've done all these things. I don't argue with him. I've done all these things. Why does he still leave me or not? marry me or whatever, or why is it not working?
Well, it could be that you have to ask some questions. How long is such relationships? How long is that relationship? At what stage does she begin to ask that question? Does she ask that question at the first year or the second year or the third year? If she asks that question at the first year or the second year or the third year of the relationship, she should know that that relationship is still adopted.
Okay, AK, do you want to add anything to
this?
No.
I mean, he's making a very, very fabulous point. I will start from the part of not being being bothered. I agree with. I'm not a guy that. If you do this personality test, you have people that fall in all these different squares. One details, some are more emotional. Take that aside. Generally speaking, for me personally, I think that free time where as a man, you talk about hunting. You are constantly thinking of how do I provide for my family? How do I build this legacy? So your brain was working 24/7.
Yep.
In certain instances, you want to dial back from that and not have to worry about that. Let me hang out with my friends. Let me watch some TV. Let me do stuff that it might seem like I'm not doing anything, but that decompression time is very important for a man.
Absolutely.
Right? And you need somebody that truly understands how you function, right? What makes you tick, what makes you happy, and they need to try to help complement that. That's right. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be, that nagging, that, what are you doing? Who are you with? If I tell you, I'm hanging out with my friends, you know what? Go. Let them go. If they value you, you value your relationship, they will come back. They will do what you need to do. But you must give them that space. You have to give them that whole policing. Oh, I'm here. What did you say? Who did you call? Where did you call? Nah. Listen, you don't go walk, oh. You don't go walk.
So ladies, listen. So men really want peace. We don't. So when you're saying this, when women are getting into relationships, what men are looking for is that peace. But do you think does anything have to do with attraction? Again, we talked about it just before. We talked about men. So was it this week? Just this week, just gone. I went camping. You heard us, and we had this conversation with guys and girls, and I asked the guys, what do you really want in a woman? They said, well, a woman who's attractive, I'm attracted to, and I want peace. Do you think, okay, we'll kind of all agree on the peace aspect, but do you think attraction also, you know what they say, that men like what they see, women like what they hear. That's why women wear makeup and men lie. Have you heard that before?
Yeah, it's very true. It's very true. Yeah, I mean, of course, you want your partner to be attractive because men are physical beings. We physical beings. We know our senses that gets triggered. That visual, that feeling, right? That's what leads. Yeah. As opposed to the mental part of let me give you a psychological discussion. I don't give a shit about that. So it's a family show. But the point is men are wired naturally that way. And so it's an important characteristic for you as a woman to try to appease, if you will, to ensure that you are stimulating all the things that this guy would need to have that attention on you. It's just physical science.
But some people would argue, some women would argue, well, what about my brain? What about, where is it all about what I look like? Am I a sex subject? And but that's not what we're saying. We're just naturally visual beings.
Can I just add something to what AK said?
Go on.
AK is making a great point there. And I love this. I think what this session should do is that when we are done with this, we ship this session to the women so that the women can use it as a case study to understand actually what
I've done one before. If we've looked on the YouTube channel, we've done one with the ladies.
Okay,
but I think
great.
I will do another one. We need to do another one.
You see, now we are discussing what we want without the argument from them. Now I'm going to explain this from two cultural factions, okay? I'm going to speak from the faction of an African. What an African woman calls her husband in Igbo is a nine. In the Jewish interpretation, or the Hebraic interpretation, it is Adonai, where you get the name my Lord, okay? Just like you say in the courts, when you come to the court and see a judge, you're in English-speaking climes, they say my Lord. In American-speaking climes, they say your Honor. In also some Arabic climes, the interpretation is also my Lord. It doesn't mean that the man is your God. It means he is somebody who is above you, not biologically, but in the cultural context. The German interpretation of Mr. is mein Herr, which is translated, that is the same word they use for Lord Jesus, Herrn Jesus. Okay? Now, in the African cultural context.
Let me just hold it. Let me quickly welcome Bumi. Bumi,
okay.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, Drew, I can hear you guys.
Welcome. You can put your camera on. We're on already. Sorry. Welcome and thank you for joining us. Now,
yeah.
Carlos, go on.
All right.
Okay, bro. So, in the African context, the African man expects his wife or his woman not to contest being of the same cadre with him. I'm not talking about the Christian religion. Before the Christian religion that talks about submission, the African man doesn't want his wife to say, why are you looking at me as a sexual object? Why are you not looking at my brain? This Western style type of categorization, the African man is never going to take it. The African man is not expecting that submission from her to press her down, like most feminists may say. If you look at African anthropology and African history, you will see that we revered our women. In fact, when the first Europeans set foot here in the 15th century and they saw how we revered our women, they began to worship our women. They thought they were gods.
Let me just quickly add to that. Now, within the African traditional religion, just so it's out there, women are referred to as gods with small g.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
it is believed that any being that can bring forth life from itself and sustain that life is a god.
Yes. You see, right? That explains the fact that we never pulled them down like pro-feminist groups today say that the women were so, their rights were breathing out. No. In Igbo land, the women were given houses out of the man's house. The man lived in his obu, and the women were given, the man built a separate furnished house for them. Okay? So the women were given a very high place in the society. Now, what causes this problem today is that most women in the African context today want to align themselves at the same level as the man. And this is causing huge crisis.
I don't think it's just within, I think it's society is changing, and so there is equality. AK, I believe you have a different view. Do you want to say
For me, right, you know, I told Andrew earlier, I have two girls and one boy, right? And I've been forced to evolve on some of these topics because obviously I think our African religion or tradition has a lot of value fundamentally, right? But there are tweaks that can be made in today's society, right? Without losing your core values. And for me, the one thing when I approach my kids is to make sure that all three of them have equal opportunity, right, at succeeding or getting to where they need to get to in life. And so you need to be careful on the words and on how you present certain topics to them, so that they don't feel like this one is better than me or whatever else. However, I saw my parents and the way they worked together to raise us, and so I'm still a traditionalist, right?
At heart.
Where at heart, because in any relationship, whether it's even in work self, people have roles. It's easier to operate when people have clear roles of this is your role, this is my role, right? You make adjustments as your relationship grows. You make adjustments. Okay, maybe do this more, do that more. But you should have clear roles. And with that being said, you need to have some wiggle room on how you adjust this thing. But traditionally, for me, I still believe that a man is the head of the home.
Yeah.
Right. A man is the head of the home, and you have your wife is your partner in helping you steer this thing there. Right. You set the vision, you set the direction, but they also have great counsel. Women have great counsel because they know details, right? Yeah. We don't care for details as we talked about earlier, right? So if you set the vision as a man for your family, and your wife or a woman feeds in those details, then you have a good balance. What is your role? What is my role? And you can end up building from there, right? But that doesn't mean that the woman is of less value, but there is a hierarchy which the family concept, in my view, comes in there. I have it with the man must cook, whatever. Okay, new age, perhaps, but it still comes down to roles. Who does what better, and you can agree for what will work for you in your family. Yeah. But my own is that a woman naturally, they have breast. Breast is life. Yes. That's not milk. Is life from when you're born. And naturally, they are nurturing creatures. Naturally, whether you want to have it or not. And so that part of the family, that role, in my view, it belongs to them. There's something that for my family, listen, madam, this time, just tell me what you need me to do to help you in your area here. But I'm not going to sit there and say, force yourself, you must be used to 50-50. It doesn't work that way. It's just not possible. It's not going to work.
So
it's unrealistic.
Is it fair to therefore say, looking at this gender roles within families and relationships and equality, is it fair to say the man is the head of the family while the woman is the heart? Now, the heart cannot exist without the head, neither would the head exist without the heart.
I think that's a pretty decent analogy.
But let's come back to our topic now. So we're now talking
sorry.
about,
I'd like to respond to that thing. I mean, if you look at the human biology, first of all, which one is more important? Is it the heart or the head?
I think both are important.
Exactly. So I mean, like every one of us here would agree that the man or the woman is as important as the man.
Yes.
And that is why AK, I guess, has talked about roles, and I completely agree. And I love what Mr. Kalu has said. I totally dig that stuff, man. I dig that stuff of a woman calling you my lord. It's the same way a man will call his wife or his woman my queen. Exactly. So everybody has to be able to respect each other as much as possible.
So so coming back to our topic, now for the ladies, we're letting them know, like it's strictly a girl panel. Like I said, I knew there's a reason why I picked a few select guys. There's a reason why I picked because I knew what I was doing. There's a reason why I called you guys. There's a reason.
Yeah. I know there's a setup coming.
One of the first things Kalu and AK we all agreed on was peace. We said men want peace.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
We then said about attraction, and AK made a comment about attraction, and we said, look, men, again, it boils down to men like, you know, what we're visual beings, right? Men are visual beings. So it's quite important for the ladies out there to know that, first of all, we want peace, and that men also want, you know, they're visual beings.
Respect.
They want to look at you and be attracted to you. And then the third one, again, is this thing we talk about respect. But that does not mean, we'll make it very clear, that does not mean that the men feel that they are above you in any way.
No.
You see, and it's mutual respect, but it's shown or expressed in different ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I just add quickly to what you just said? You see, Andrew, and the other guys here, whenever a woman begins to renege in what the man saw that caused him to go for her, particularly how she looks, what made him to go for her, the 101, the first spark was how she looked. Whenever the man begins to see that she has reneged in that manner, there will be a problem. The man is biologically, psychologically, physiologically, spiritually wired to see the woman as attractive. And this brings me back to what the today African woman, for instance, will look at her husband. Instead of calling or seeing the husband as my Lord, she sees her husband as my baby. Our ancestors didn't see their husbands as their baby. When you are going to see, for Andrew, if the Prime Minister of Sweden invites you to his office tomorrow, Andrew, you're not going to wear a t-shirt or wear your boxers or wear flip-flops to go there. You're going to dress. Maybe you would like to even impress him as an African.
It depends on my level. If I go to Jay-Z's level, I'm going in t-shirt and shorts.
Well,
if I'm at Jay-Z's level,
if he invites you, let me tell you, if he invites you to a meeting with, let's say, ambassadors and other heads of state and top business entrepreneurs, even Jay-Z was not going to wear flip-flops and t-shirt and shorts there. So what I'm trying to say is that when the woman begins to change her perception to her man, there is also one stupendous rhetoric that goes on that the woman is the head that carries the neck that carries the head. That is crap. Excuse my language, but that is crap, actually. It is very, very clear. In the African context, for instance, the man is the head. The man is the Adonai. The man is the Lord of this woman. So whenever the woman begins to see him as, this is my baby. How do you treat a baby? You don't care how you relate with the baby. You relate with the baby, your duty is to, you're sure the baby is going to make mistakes. You're very sure that you need to police this baby to make sure that the baby doesn't do something wrong, hurt himself. That is not what men are. Men are created to be people to set the direction that society should follow, and the women as their assistants. So when a woman begins to see that, I'm not going to speak much about the Western context. A German once told me when I was in Germany, he said that their women were not like this before. He said when they were growing up, the women were submissive to the men. He told me that this thing I see today started just a few years ago. So I'm beginning to see that this is a biological construct that the Creator himself put, that men have to be given some space and seen as people of a higher class. I'm not trying to socially stratify women. I have to be very careful about this, that until a woman allows the man to take his proper position, a man cannot love her. When a man begins to see a woman that she is contesting with his God-given, okay, let me not say God-given position, because many people will ask me for empirical data to back what I'm saying. But whenever a woman begins to contest the position of a man, the man cannot come down to love her. The key, the secret is this.
You know what we talked about before about masculinity and femininity?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what we talk, right, Bumi, I'm sure it looks like you're itching to add to what Carlo said.
Well, I actually agree with about 80% of what he said. I think the only other thing that I would say that would be the addition is that in as much as a man desires respect from his woman, he needs to also perform his own obligations, which is all the things that society expects of him: nourish, protect, even also to respect the woman as well. I mean, if you don't do these things, how are you going to get that from a woman? And I mean, if you can't respect a woman for who she is, you're not going to get that respect from her as well.
Absolutely. So you're absolutely right. Like it comes down to this. If you once again, I've been married for how long? And it's you see these things, they come, they flash. It's there. When the woman raises the man up, right, and gives him that respect and that space to operate as the leader, automatically he pulls her up, he raises her up as well.
Totally.
It's his natural thing, right? As a man, yes, don't say, okay, you must respect me, but yet you don't want to go work, you don't want to go provide for your family. That is not a man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You are not a man. If you cannot provide, go out there and even if your wife is making more than you, but there's still a lot of things that you can do as a man to show that you are leading the family. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So you must, as a man, to get the respect. Respect is not a right.
It's not an entitlement. It's earned.
It's earned. It's earned. Yep. Yes, you start from a place where they give you all this credit as a man. Okay, you go and lead. You start from that. You start from that point, but you must show that you deserve to be at that point. And that is being able to go out, hustle, lead the family, get what they need, provide for them, take care of their security, all those things that come with being a man. Then your woman will say, man, it's my guy, they try, respect is there, right? And you as well, because she gives you the space and everything, you also bring that up and you respect her as well. That's the way this works. But as to if you are going to start there, you're contesting, with the man, that's not healthy. It's not. Maybe some men don't mind being, I know the house. I'm the house husband. What do you call it? But it's not the predominant section of men. They need that space to be respected, to provide. Let me go out and if you see the funny part, when you go, you see Nigerian man that goes to these foreign countries and they are dating these foreign girls. Nigerian man will come and say, "What do you need, baby? Take. Right? The men here, they don't do those things. So for them, it's like, how is this possible?
Okay,
it's how we're wired.
Okay, pause. Let me give you my personal experience. Do you know my life? Do you know? When we moved to Nigeria, and my wife wanted to come to Nigeria, and I said, "Should I want to visit?" And then, being a Nigerian man, I sent her the flight ticket. Oh my God, the flight money. Oh my God. It was because it's not common. It's not what they're used to. You understand? But the thing is, we've mentioned so far for what men want ladies to know. We've talked about peace. Men want peace. We've talked about attraction. We have to feel attracted, which means that women have to kind of look after themselves as much as the men do as well, right? Or we basically, the women have to look after themselves, right? So we talk about peace. Women, we want peace. We want you to be attractive, and because we want to be attracted to you. And then we talk about respect, right? And also we've talked about alignment. You have to be in my vision as well, right? Now, but some people come and argue and say, look, I met this Femi guy and I've given him all this love and all these things. Yet, he still broke my heart, or he went off after giving him 7 years of my life. He went off with one girl he met 6 months ago. What do you think happened then? What do you think is the situation then?
Because if, for instance, most of these things we have identified now, like the woman or the girl stops being attractive to him like when he met her before, or maybe the girl is contesting his position in the relationship, and the guy is maybe managing his life one day and meets somebody who gives him the impression, who honors him, who doesn't police him around, who aligns in his vision, who impresses him. Men are not people that wait. Men are movers. We are on the go. We are the people who set the direction, the social direction of the world. It is not an accident that you see more men as soldiers, more men as in decisive positions. It is not, society is trying to balance it up, but there is a neutral dynamic that men are mostly in positions in society where policy or society is shaped. So there is something inherent in men that makes men a little, I'm very careful not to say higher. I don't want to seem that I'm trying to venerate men.
I think it's just
I'm trying to say,
even
if you look at animals, even if you look at animals, if you look at male animals, there are some degree of things male animals do that female animals do not do. There is something given to men to be the shapers of society. Just like AK said, it is also important the details that women have in their characteristic. We don't have it. But for us to live, for a man, do you know a man, women listening, let me tell you one secret. Do you know that a man may like to do what you want him to do, but because the man sees that you've not accorded him the respect that he needs, the man will refuse to do it. The man will only do it when he sees that you have accorded him that opportunity to be in his position. And you will see him doing it. For instance, what AK talked about in some places, some women talk about today in Nigeria now, women want men to bring food for her in the bedroom, like they watch in the movies. Or when they want to propose to them, they should kneel down and propose. Excuse me? A man can
money
bring
cake,
that
money
breakfast
cake as
to
well.
you. Yes, a man can bring that breakfast to you in the bed.
But
But when you do not give the man his position, he will feel that you are trying to police him to be bringing food for you.
Yeah, but what we are saying is we've had ladies who do all these things that we've said. They've shown respect, but the man is just not.
Well,
and
okay, allow me.
Bumi, go on.
Somebody else should
Yeah.
say something.
So the way I see it, I mean, we human beings, whether male or female, this thing can happen to both the guy or it can happen to also the women as well. My own take is this: every individual is different, and that difference makes us behave differently to almost the same circumstances. So, I mean, if you give me respect and I'm okay with you, if you respecting me, another guy might not really require that respect so much. He might not value respect as per, I mean, this is all that I need. This is my deal breaker. He might want you to align with his vision. He might probably want you to be more industrious. He might want you to be peaceful. I mean, different guys want different things.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
some people might just want you to make babies for them or just to be the face of whatever societal or political ambitions that they have. So I mean, it's up to the ladies now to really understand who their man is.
Right.
Exactly. So once you're able to know that, you use that. Well, of course, that knowledge could either be used for good or for evil. So if you use it for evil, that's you manipulating the guy. Now, I'm not expecting any woman to do that, but I mean, use it for your own advantage, for you to have peace in the house, for you to have stability, for you to have his love, affection, for him to bring out his money and give to you.
Also, again, it comes down to knowing who you are with. This is not rocket science. Yeah. You have to know who you are with. What makes them tick? What makes them happy? What's my wife not saying for me? I like time with my friends. right?
Yeah.
After everything, I like time with my friends. And if I say I'm going to just go and hang out, go and build your friends, spend that time. That's important for me, right? So you have to know in your relationship what do you this person you are with, what makes them tick, right? And you're going to have to flex certain time. Flex meaning that I don't typically like this, but because they like this, let me do it because it makes them happy. But you must at the core of it, you must know what this person likes. How do I compliment? How do I bring this best out of them? Right? Some women might be the ones that say, "Well, guy, you have to go after this." Right? Some women are even more gung-ho. My husband, go after this. Right? You need that spark sometimes. But you must know where to push and pull and help your partner get up to the next level. This is this doesn't happen over one day, over 5 years. It's a lifetime. It's a lifetime task. It's a lifetime task.
I think you guys have made it very clear for the ladies. I think it's pretty simple. We've talked about men simply want peace. Then just give us peace. Be attractive because one of the attracted to you. Respect, and not because we feel above you. It's respect. We'll give you the same, accord you the same respect. It's men value respect. And then number 4, we want someone who's aligned with our vision.
An understanding.
Pardon?
An understanding.
Understand
us.
Someone aligned with our vision, respect and understanding, someone aligned with our vision. And then finally, we've also agreed, AK and Bumi have also said, you have to know the individual, you have to know the man and what his needs are, what he wants. So in as much as these things work, that's what we're saying. That we're saying that, just a quick recap, we're saying that the issue of we're starting with the peace. The issue of the peace, it works. A man wants peace. A man wants you to be attractive because he wants to be attracted to you. A man wants respect and understanding. A man also wants a woman who is aligned with his vision, right? But above all, a man wants a woman who knows him. So you as lady, lady has to know because different men want different things, and different things mean more to some men than to others. And so it's very important that the ladies really know who they're getting in a relationship with. Guys, I think you've done justice to this topic. If the ladies do not learn from this, look, there's no hope. We can't save them.
I think also the women have to have their own session so that we can understand it.
We can't do more. But for those again who are watching, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram. It's Reviews 2021. Thank you very much again, guys. It's always a pleasure talking to you guys. It's always wonderful.
Before you go,